I guess it's I know it's I guess it was going to give you guys a manga review as promised. This is basically a manga. This is called Holoearth Chronicles Side E. Yamato uh Plasterium. I did believe that's what it's called, Plasterium. And this is the manga right here. That's what it's called. There's the side, there's the back. Where's the back and stuff like that. And so this is basically a manga book. Basically, I think this is basically kind of like a manga based on basically like Hollow Life characters, basically from known as VTubers. I definitely do think so. I searched her up. I do know who she is. Her name is Fubuka. I think I've seen her on YouTube quite a few times before. I'm not so sure if I really have. I don't know if Fubuka is basically still doing YouTube or something like that. I really do not know. I'm assuming that she probably still is and stuff like that. And this is Mio right here. Mio, that's basically her friend. Them two are basically are very good friends and stuff like that. And they're basically, I guess they probably did a collaboration or something like that based on YouTube or something like that. I really do not know. I think they are VTubers. I think they're Hollow Live VTubers. I definitely do think that they are. I'm not 100% sure, but it's nice that they get to have their own manga and stuff like that. It really actually is. I happen to like this manga really definitely a lot. It has some action packed basically in this manga. Not really quite really a lot, but it has basically cutesy, basic kind of a nature kind of basic of a situation that you basically would basically that you definitely will see. Both of these two girls, I think Neil is a wolf. I think that she's a wolf or a fox. I don't know. I think she's a wolf or a fox. And Fubuka is basically she is a fox. She is basically she likes doing fox spirits and stuff like that. She basically basically controls fox spirits and stuff like that. Or I was a yokai or something like that. Basically in a way that she really does. And they basically live into a different world. I can't remember the name of the world that they live. I think the world's called Yamato. I think that's the world that they live in or stuff like that. They do have like anime mangas and stuff like that that they basically do read and stuff like that. They do, and they do play Nintendo Switch and stuff like that, which I kind of find it kind of funny. It really actually is and stuff like that. And Fubuka is pretty much one of my favorite spaces right here. She's very cheerful. She's very energetic. She has a lot of energy. She likes to run around really pretty much really a lot, and she doesn't really like eating really kind of food that she really likes, but she likes to eat the food is basically I think it's called Omi Fox noodles. I definitely do think that's what she likes because I definitely do think that's her pretty much her favorite food. That's what she definitely just likes because she likes to be basically a general nature to basically being a fox. That's what she basically actually does and stuff like that. She is very powerful in basically in a way, but her strength is not really all that high, really based on number. But she does carry a samurai sword that she really does. But I would not be underestimated because the way that she really how she dedicate herself and the basis of the power that she really definitely has. Now, when it comes to Mio, basically with her, when it comes to Mio is a person. She's a little bit more different than Fubuka because her powers so basically has like fire type kind of like powers that she definitely has. She doesn't have no art basic of powers, but there's a problem basically about what the basically about her is that basically her base I think of her grandmother who basically who taught her to use how to use transit basic ability where she basically she kind of like leaves her soul out of her body and then she tries to transcend into the sense other other people from long ways or something like that or something or pick up different scents. It's kind of like a dog that you like you're a police officer and you're trying to have your dog to sniff out different areas what they're trying to sniff out or they're trying to sniff out drugs or bombs or something like that, and they have to concentrate and they have to sniff, and the reason why they have to do that because so they can find out what's going on or basically solve a mystery based on what's going on. She's basically kind of basically in a way kind of like in a dog kind of way, but she's more basically in just basically more much more different because she doesn't really have any art powers. She really definitely doesn't, but she definitely does. But she definitely does have so does have a special ability to where she can basically that she can leave her body, not like dead, like she can transfer her soul out. She can transfer her soul out her body, and she could find traces of different things like maybe like clues, people, or other different things. But she could only use this ability for a certain time, for a certain time. But I'm also kind of wondering like how long is the duration of her ability that she's using. But the question is, will it have some kind of major effects on her? Which I definitely do think that it probably would because it does make her very tired also as well too. But here's the big scary thing also as well too, because if she basically does that, what could possibly basically could happen? Because if she's worth to basically be in a trance, there's a very good possibility that she could die also as well too. But you got to remember also as well too. I'm thinking that she transfers her soul out of her body to translate to from to basically define people. Now, based on the manga is basically that what they're trying to do, they're trying to find children. That's what they're trying to do, and they're trying to find these children. They're trying to find them and trying to find them where they basically actually are. Now, we really do not know if these children are dead or they're basically just lost spirits. Now, they could be dead or they could be basically just lost spirits. But with the ability that she has, she can translate from lost spirits or lost people that probably been lost, or maybe that she could probably go into the underworld basically in a way that she can basically can't. Her abilities are kind of a little bit more difficult to explain, but she really actually knows how to basically use her powers. I definitely would definitely say she's not a horror type basic kind of person. That's kind of like me because basically in a way I want people to really basically understand here is that she doesn't like creepy things or anything like that. She really does not. She really does not. She does not like to be in those kind of situations. She doesn't like watching like a horror or anything like that. That's kind of like with me. Sometimes I do, but sometimes I really don't. But that's just really basically depends and stuff like that. She does kind of lacks in self confidence and stuff like that, and sometimes that lack of self confidence can be one of her major failures. Basically, with her, excuse me, one of her major failures basically with her. But she does have that. Excuse me. She does have that lack of self confidence, and she basically does. Now, when it comes to Fumiko is a very confident, very good kind of girl. Like I said, first, she's very energetic. She's very fast. She lacks strength, but don't be fooled by her looks and stuff like that. She seems like she's very nice. She seems like she's very outgoing. She's not very shy, and she seems like she's always helping the people out, basically out in the world of Yamato, because that's what they're basically supposed to do. Basically supposed to do. Now, I don't know the generalization how they become a yokai or basically a kami or something like that, or basically that. I can't really remember or something like that because they possibly have to be developed up to basically get the powers to basically, if they were born based from the clan or something like that, they probably would definitely will basically get the powers to basically have that, or basically to go through training. This manga kind of reminds me of basically like Yu Yu Hakusho, basically in a kind of way. It's kind of like these two girls are basically working in basically like a soul society. That's basically what they're working in and stuff like that. It's kind of like they're working for a detective uh, headquarters and stuff like that. Basically, that's basically what I definitely think. I feel like this is kind of like a soul society kind of like situation, basically like kind of like a Yu Yu Hakusho in a way. I think people would disagree with me with this. But if you really basically watch Yu Yu Hakusho, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. But when you read this manga, it has a similarity base of that. It's kind of like a mysteries and stuff like that. Basic of that. I love Yu Yu Hakusho. It's personally one of my favorite animes of all time. It's personally I actually is. It's definitely really actually is. It definitely has a very unique of a different style than from what I've seen based from back in the past. I used to remember back watching it back in Tanami. It really actually is. Now, to be honest with you, I really would personally want to say I would really would love to see a basic anime basic of this, and I definitely think this is a very good direction based with this manga also as well too, because this manga is also is definitely is very good to read. Is I really enjoy it. I have to give it probably a 10 out of 10. It's definitely is very good, and I really want to get volume number two because I really want to see where the story really actually continues on, because that's something I'm very very curious about, and I'm also curious about how they're basically going to find the children. But they also run into another person who happens. There's a woman that she has like horns on her head or something. I don't know really much of her name, really much of her name. But basically, the main female protagonists are basically these two girls. But I would have to say the main female protagonist is probably Fubuka, because I definitely think Fubuka is pretty much basically the main female protagonist basically in his manga. There's not really a whole lot to basically really talk about, but I definitely would personally definitely say it's worth picking up. If you guys like Hollow Life or basically like VTuber, I definitely do think it's based on that. I definitely do think it really actually is. But I definitely would personally definitely say it is something to be worth getting. If you kind of like this kind of stuff, I happen to like it because it's something I find very cute. And I want to say thank you to Books and Millions because I found this right here. I could not find volume number two based on Books and Millions because I don't know if volume number two is already out or maybe it has been. I really do not know. But I would personally would definitely say go get this manga. And also want to say thank you to Square Enix also as well too for this manga also as well too. And this is a rated T for teen manga also as well too. And this manga probably cost me like $13, $14 somewhere right now. Probably 12 to 14, probably around 12 or $14. Probably right around there and stuff like that. So yeah, but anyways, that's it for this manga review. Tell me what you guys think. You guys like this manga? You guys don't like it? What's your guys' overall thoughts based of the premises based on this manga, and what are you guys' thoughts basically what you would like to see basically in more basic more manga? Do you think this is a VTuber's basic kind of a manga or basically really not? It kind of basically feels to me that it really does, but that's just basically what I definitely think. But yeah, anyways, as always, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Hope you get some love today. Don't forget to subscribe. Please consider subscribing. Please a like button, give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down, and please leave a comment as well. Anyways, I love you guys. Take care. Hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Bye.